Hi, this is Gabby and welcome to Disco's Fine Craft. I want to talk to you about some of the crafts I've been doing and make it like a vlog style video this time. So let me walk you through what I've been up to. The yarn I'm using is this lovely purple. It's got like lavender but a little bit more brightness to it. It's like an orchid almost. It's just so lovely. It's by Avalon Springs Farm. Their Pendragon yarn. This is hand-dyed superwash merino wool and it's a sport weight. The color is Crystal Cove. I got this at Rhinebeck last year, I think. I can't remember if it was 24 or 25 that I got this, but I really like Avalon Springs Farm. They have all these sweet, like, medieval, fantastical names of their colorways, and so it really lends like a fun vibe to it when you make with it. So I've been knitting a Musselburgh with this. This Musselburgh is going to go to a dear friend who's kind of going through a rough time, and I just want to do something to brighten their day. And I finished my Musselburgh. I'm so happy with it that I'm like, this is a good gift. Somebody will appreciate this. So I'm already, I think, past the halfway mark. Got a nice long tube going. Not quite at the point where I have to start decreasing, but I think I'll be able to finish this pretty soon. I'm going to be spending a couple days in the city coming up with my best friend. So I think I might even be able to finish this on the train rides, but I'm going to bring a second project in case I do finish that. So stay tuned. I'll probably go over that in the next episode of the vlog of the podcast. Well, you could see like dust and fuzz or whatever just floating around. Anyway, yeah, so I am working on the Musselburgh. I wanted to show you my process coming up to it. I wound up the yarn and had a lovely, cozy weekend. We had a ton of snow, and we are looking down the barrel of another like severe snowfall. So we'll see. About Musselburgh hats is that everyone really loves them, but that starting it is the hardest part, and then it's very fiddly. So when I started it, I was watching different videos about pinhole cast-ons, and I was able to find one that really like clicked for me. So I'm putting in some footage now of me working the beginning cast-on stitches and separating them on the DPNs. I'll insert that here and link the video that I used down below, so that way you all can refer to it as well, because I found it very simple and helpful. Side note, in the clip of me casting on, I'm using the totally wrong DPNs. I picked them, like I grabbed them out of my stash based on color, but these are like tiny DPNs that happen to be the same color as my 3s that I needed. So I started this whole process and filmed it with the wrong size, so I had to go back and redo. No, the life of a knitter. That's what we do. We make mistakes, we go back and start over. So enjoy this little cast on process. Okay, so I'm trying to knit loosely wherever I can, because as I work with these DPNs, I do feel like I'm really like digging into the stitches with them. I don't love doing make one, make right. It's not my favorite type of increase, and I feel like I'm always struggling against the yarn when I do that. I think part of it is that these DPNs I'm using could be a little sharper. I think maybe next time I make one of these hats, it'd be cool to invest maybe in some stainless steel ones. This is pretty flexible. I don't know if that's a benefit or not, but here, I'm gonna try to work through this. If you've never worked with DPNs before, it can look a little crazy at first, but basically here's my active stitches I'm gonna work on, and then this is my right hand needle. So I'm gonna just ignore the other needles to the best of my ability. And it's a little wild looking. I remember when I first cast on a Musselburgh hat like a couple years ago, and that one was kind of a flop, but in the beginning I stopped and restarted so many times, and I was looking down at my hands with this like entangled like spider of yarn and sticks, and I remember shouting alone in my house, why do I like this? What am I doing? It feels crazy sometimes. Yeah, I think if I had a size 3 of a 40-inch or 24 or 32-inch circular, I would give that a shot. But I unfortunately just don't have a size 3 with a long tail, whether in like the adjustable needle set or a solid, like a permanent one. So I have wet hair. I wasn't planning on turning the camera on to myself, but I wanted you guys to see how this kitty just decided to make me his perch for right now as I'm trying to struggle through my make lefts and make rights increases. This guy's, he's so cute. Look at you, buddy. Do you see yourself being cute? His name is Bodie. He's looking out the window a little bit at some birds. I really hope he doesn't launch off of me, leave me scratched up. One thing that was a highlight of my recent weeks in making art and building community is that I started a knitting group, or I should say like a crafting group. I started like a social club and talked to some local businesses where I asked them like, hey, can I put out the word to like have crafters come meet here, 6 to 8. And some of the folks I know who like run small businesses were like, yeah, that sounds wonderful, did a little promotion. And I thought because it was our first session and it's the middle of winter that I would get maybe like at the max, like a dozen people to show up. Cause I had a couple friends who were like, I'm coming. So I'm like, okay, maybe 10, maybe 12. And I had 30 people come to this first event. So I was so excited I could cry. It was so sweet to just get so many people who wanted to just connect with others. Like the need for community is really deep at this time. I think we all need to feel like not insane. We all need to feel a little bit grounded and connected while things are happening in this world. And the warmth and camaraderie that was coming out of that room was so sweet. I had like a bunch of icebreakers prepped just in case there was like 6 of us around a table and no one knew what to start talking about. And I didn't even need it. Like it was a bunch of folks who just all came in, sat down and just started chatting and like talking to each other about their projects. And my intention, like I said, was to have anybody who has like a small enough craft to join, just to show up and just do your work alongside other people. And we had so many cool different kinds of crafts. So I met a person who was doing like an illustration that she was going to turn into like a block print stamp. And then her bestie, I guess, I'm assuming, was sitting next to her, was working on her own craft, and was like, yeah, once she finishes that stamp, I'm gonna get it tattooed on me. Like, they're gonna stamp it on me as the stencil. I'm like, you guys this is some innovation, right? It was so cool. I was like, loved the energy. Somebody brought a small like clay amount to do like a pinch pot and just had like a little dip of water that they were tapping their fingers in and then working with their clay. I was like, this is the best. It was really inspiring. It was very, very heartwarming in so many ways. And I was so glad to do it. So now got a lot of positive feedback, obviously, from that, from the people attending, and happy to share that I'm linking up with more businesses in my area to do this. So I would love for y'all to encourage you, like, find a way to make a group like that happen in your area. I knew that because there are knitting and crochet groups at local libraries, and I love that, but the only flaw I have found with that is that they typically meet like in the daytime, and that is not always feasible for folks who are working or parents. You have nap times to handle, so sometimes doing it as an evening hang could be a really great way to get folks after they get out of their jobs, they want to socialize a little bit. Maybe it might be easier for parents to attend if, you know, they have somebody else to do the put down, and then they're kind of free to go live. I know that's the case for me a lot of times. So yeah, it's been really aligned, really fun, and I'm so glad that we made it happen. Another craft that I've been really excited to try and expand my skills in is sewing. So now that I have a lot more time in my post layoff sort of unemployment era, I was like, you know what, I want to spend a lot more time in creativity, try some things that I've always wanted to try. So how can I bring sewing into the mix in like a step-by-step way? As I used to do it, I used to sew a bit more in like high school and like college, and I haven't since really. I took a long break from it, so now I want to get back in. A couple months ago found a sewing machine at Aldi of all places that was like $40. It's a mini, and I was like, okay, that's a reasonable investment for like a new craft that I haven't proven I'm gonna stick with, and I want to try something. So instead of jumping into like more like a $200 investment of a machine, I got my little petite little friend, little $40 one, and doing some simple projects with it. So I'm starting off with an apron. My daughter likes to help me in the kitchen, and she has like a little baby apron that I got for her a long time ago, and it's kind of small on her body, and for a while I thought I had lost it. I recently found it while I was tidying, and it kind of inspired me to be like, you know what, I should see if I can make her an apron for her birthday. It's coming up next week, and I went to Walmart, which is the localist store that has fabric. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that, because there is like a proper like boutique fabric store and yarn shop that's closer to me. But again, because I'm like a very beginner in this, I didn't want to go super hard into investing in like fine fabrics, and also because it's an apron. So I was content to kind of browse at Walmart, and I got some pre-cut, like I think 2-yard packs, just in case I made mistakes. And that was really affordable, and it has like this Pink Pony Club inspired print, and she loves that. So I was like, I think she's really gonna like this. I'm including some of my footage here of me going through the whole process of making it. It was somewhat freehand. I used the old apron to kind of establish the shape and size that I think it should be. And then I went through a couple of different like YouTube shorts and one like longer YouTube video about making a child's apron. So that helped me get straight on how to make the straps, the one short that I watched is like a popular short that'll pop up if you search sewing a child's apron, and it was like a reversible one. So I was like, I think that's reasonable, because if I had one piece of cotton, like right side, wrong side cotton, it might feel like a little thin in terms of like a apron, like you want maybe to have a little protection on it. So I was like, I do want it to have like a lining, I guess, to make it a little more sturdy. So I kind of based it on this little reversible short that I watched, and yeah, overall I think it was a success. And you can see in my process coming up that I did have some issues, so it was interesting to try and troubleshoot that. But overall, I'm really happy with myself that I took a leap and tried something new, and was able to kind of maybe reboot a little bit of the skills that I remember from the past, and then maybe I can incorporate some other easy projects again. Like maybe I'm thinking like some pillows, like things like that that are like achievable and smaller, or like a very simple like flowing sort of dress, like maybe like a caftan style. So we'll see. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but it was a very cool experience. It made me feel really like gratified afterwards to have achieved that little goal of mine. So yay. All right, so I was able to find her old apron and find a big piece of paper, and I've gone like a little bit, like maybe 2 inches wider than this. So I'm kind of just freehanding it because I just want to make it slightly larger, but nothing crazy. And that still leaves plenty, obviously, for a seam allowance, and also room to grow into. Okay, so I was able to finish 2 straps that are going to be the side straps to go around the back. So I've got them here. I watched like a little tutorial about how to make like a clean top. And obviously mine's not super clean. It's the first time I'm doing it. Oh, it's so messy. But the way it was done was easy for my mind to understand. I made some big mistakes on this one. It's really rough. I started to like sew just like off the fold. My sewing machine just has like one speed. I just foot pedal it and it's like full on or not. So I'm having a hard time with that, where it's like going so fast that I can't keep up like with my eyes almost. So I gotta figure that out, gotta get used to it. But before it went off the rails, it was pretty cute. I kind of had this like little contrast stitch. And then you could see where it deviated. It started to really go off and I had no idea. I know I had like a stitch ripper and I don't have one anymore. I lost it in like the bin of crafts. I don't know. So I have to find one of those or purchase a new one, because I could see that I would have needed to go back and stitch rip, or I just started over again. I was like, let me just see what I can do. And at the end of the day, you know, I want my child to have a special gift, but like, she may or may not notice that it has like some wonky stitching. Is it, you know, it was handmade with love, so it's functional. She's gonna be baking in it and getting it messy, so I don't know. I'm tempted to leave it. I may just like try another round of it, but I got 2. Feel really good about that. 2 finished ones for the back. So I'm thinking the next step is to like make a 3rd strap that goes here and then attach the apron to it. And I might want to do 2 straps off the back and then have it tied, because I've noticed sometimes when kids wear aprons, like, and especially my kids are little skinny ones, they like, you put it on and it's like gaping and it's like falling way down, and like it lets the apron start all the way down here. So I may just need to do like obviously short strap for a child, but maybe I could do 2 straps and have it tied so she could like tighten it or loosen it. So that's something I'm considering. Just getting back into it now after lunch, and I'm gonna try to do this again for that next strap. So now I am making a little pocket for her apron, and I'm using my sewing manual. So I just did like, I drew the top and bottom here, and then I just flipped it, and I'm having the manual. So I have this like little light rectangle. It's like about the right size for a little pocket with like a tool in it, right? So we're gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna fold this in half and then make like the edging nice, and then put it onto the front of the apron. So here's each side of the apron. I saw a little like short on YouTube about a reversible apron, and I figured I could do that. So this is the front side I'm planning for, and this will be like the secret reversible inside. So I did like the contrast pocket on each one. So I've been watching actually a couple different tutorials, and one of the things that they do is fold it in half and steam it so that you know where the half side is. And instead of having a big front kangaroo pocket that might be a little gapey, I figured I'd have a tall pocket on her right side since she's right-handed, and she could stick a tool in there or like a spoon or something, and then it'll be on each side. And then once these are put together, it'll be balanced because there'll be like one on each side of the seam. And then I've got my straps. So the wonky one, I decided I was going to try to practice some more. So I don't need to use this one where I screwed up the stitching. I have 3 here, so 2 for the sides and 1 for the back, or the neck, excuse me. So I'm going to start like sewing these all together, pressing things as I go. And yeah, hopefully I can finish this little gift for her by today. Okay, so I've really hit a wall here with sewing. I've got everything pinned. This is the last sewing step to like put all the pieces together, and my machine just keeps jamming. It has jammed 4 times. I put some footage in of it jamming for relatability. So I have to look through this manual and see if there's like troubleshooting information about what's happening to it, and if I can't figure it out, I think I might ask my parents if I can borrow theirs, or just bring this little project over there and just like zip, zip, zip through it. Because this is like, I'm still a beginner with it. I don't really know like, like what all the different issues are that can pop up. And so far, comparing my different types of crafts that I love to do, it's really challenging to sew, because I feel like when I make a mistake in knitting, my hands are the machine. I made the mistake. I can kind of trace it back and see what happened. And when I make a mistake in sewing, or the sewing machine is having a problem, it's just a pile of string and it's moving so fast that like I can't quite tell what's happening. And with knitting, if I run into a problem, it's like, okay, I can sit down. Maybe I have to like learn how to do something, or just fix a couple stitches. And with this, I'm like, okay, not only do I have to like up my skill level, but I have to like fix a machine. That's really annoying. So not loving that about this sewing project at the moment, but we'll see. Okay, here it is. Maybe if we're vibing more with this side, she can wear this. I think she's gonna love it. So this is what's left of a sad little snowman. You see his little sunning glasses on the ground. There's a little hat. The deer came and took his nose. He had a little carrot nose, so somebody got a good treat, which, you know what? Good for them. All right, it's a pretty cool day, obviously still very snowy here, but it's like 42 degrees instead of 9 and 10, which it was the other days. So I'm gonna attempt to do a little knit and walk on the stockinette section of my Musselburgh hat, but it's a little breezy, so I feel like my fingers might not last very long. In that case, I'm just gonna bag it back up and keep walking, get some good energy moving, get some steps in. So no, I did not end up knitting on that walk. It was not so cold for me to be out there in general, but the wind was enough that like I would have my bare hands out, and I couldn't stand that. So yeah, I just took it easy. I just walked for pleasure, for the fitness of it, got some fresh air, and then came back and like did some more crafting later. So yeah, no, it doesn't always go as planned, but that's something I would really like to be able to do a little more, is some outdoor walks and bring my knitting. I've done it a bit before in the past, and I'm just kind of waiting for this more bitter temperatures to kind of ease up a little bit, and then it'll be more practical. In the meantime, sometimes I do like to walk at home on my walking pad and do it. That's much more like doable. And yeah, in terms of safety, you know, my neighborhood is like it's like a loop. So it's not a thoroughfare where people are driving through fast. The only people on these roads are people who are pulling into their own house and stuff. So it's very calm and relatively safe. And I just try to keep my wits about me with my eyes up. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. That was been my week. I'm really happy with like the progress I made on both my hat and my sweet little apron gift. And I'm looking forward to next week. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I am going to go down to New York City this weekend with my girlfriend and see Mary's. Oh, I'm really excited. Hopefully getting in to see Jinx Month soon in one of her last performances, if this snow doesn't end up canceling the performance. I have a feeling it won't, because it's New York. You can be underground in the subway. You get up, you walk a bit, and then you continue. Like in my time living there, there was rare that anything would get super closed because of snow. So I'm assuming the show must go on. We're gonna go in and to Manhattan and see that. And otherwise, I'm just planning to maybe not have a ton of train access back to the Hudson Valley. So I'm gonna just hang with her. She likes to embroider, so I'm gonna bring some small knitting projects, and maybe we can just also get some hang time. I think my next vlog will have more of that, and I'll show you what I've been working on those train rides, and how far I get if I finish that hat. So if you've been with me this long, thanks so much for hanging in. I hope you can stick around and see more of what I've been working on in the past, some of my journey of coming onto YouTube and chatting and wanting to work more with my creativity. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, hit the subscribe button for me, and I hope that we can continue to hang here, and wishing you all a very cozy, comfortable, snowy weekend. Bye.